You're about to make it to the top of this mountain. But as you get ready to take that last step, you can't feel your toes. They're completely numb. You take off your boots to see what's happened, and you discover nasty blisters filled with blood. You're starting to panic, but focus. You only have a few minutes to save yourself from amputation or even death. Here's how to survive frostbite. Frostbite happens when your skin gets exposed to extremely low temperatures. When the wind chill causes the temperature to drop to negative 26 degrees Celsius, exposed skin can freeze in less than 30 minutes. This can lead to gangrene or amputation of the area. In the worst case, frostbite can kill you. Every year, 1,300 Americans die after exposure to the cold. What can you do to stay alive? Which body parts are the most important to protect? Why is drinking water so important in cold weather? Why is it dangerous to heat up too fast? Step 1. Keep your shoes on. Make sure to cover up and dress warmly, and pay extra attention to your hands, feet, and nose, since those parts are more vulnerable to frostbite. In January 2016, Kristen Hybert and her 4-year-old daughter were in a car accident in negative 20 degrees Celsius weather. With their car stuck in a ditch, they spent more than 10 hours waiting to be rescued until Hybert gathered the courage to climb the steep embankment to the road and get help. She lost both shoes in the crash and was barefoot in the snow. She couldn't feel her feet, but she kept going, knowing that getting to the road was their only chance to survive. Eventually, a car stopped and took Kristen and her daughter to a hospital. Despite the doctor's best efforts, Hybert lost both her lower legs to frostbite. Step 2. Put the drink down. Dehydration doesn't only affect you in warmer temperatures. As your body pulls heat to your core to keep you warm, your kidneys start to work extra hard and expel fluids from your body. You can become dehydrated and more susceptible to frostbite. If you get exposed to freezing cold, you must stay hydrated. Drink even if you aren't thirsty, and avoid drinking alcohol since that'll make your body lose heat faster. Step 3. Beware of shiny skin. Recognizing the early signs of frostbite might save your life. If you detect and treat it early, you can avoid permanent damage. There are 3 stages of frostbite. First, you'll feel an itching or a burning sensation in your extremities as your skin's top layers are affected by the cold. Next, your skin will become hard and look shiny or waxy. Blisters filled with blood will start forming. When frostbite reaches the advanced stage, your skin will darken, turn blue, and then black. Step 4. Get warm, but not too fast. Once you see signs of frostbite, it's essential to get the area warmed up, but do it gradually. Even if getting near a bonfire seems like a great idea, you should avoid any direct heat. Since you've lost sensitivity, you could risk getting too close to the flame and get a nasty burn. Instead, apply warm water to the affected area. Once it's warmed, make sure to dry it thoroughly and place a loose, sterile dressing on top. Step 5. Don't rub. You're probably used to rubbing your hands when they're cold to increase blood flow and warm them. But with frostbite, you should never rub or massage the skin to warm it. Rubbing can increase the damage to your soft tissue and probably make things worse. Well done! You managed to survive getting frostbite, and you can continue mountain climbing. But if you're planning to scale Mount Everest and don't want to become the 296th person to die while trying, well, we can help you here on How to Survive.
You drop, you roll, and then you stop. Whatever you do when you're on fire, it's totally different when you're engulfed in an avalanche. And the longer it takes to get rescued, the less likely that you'll survive. But how can you beat the odds? What should you look for? And what's the best way to be prepared? Well, here's your answer, according to science. In an avalanche, a slab of snow gets detached from whatever slope it sits on and tumbles downward, sweeping up more snow, debris, and any unlucky bystanders in its path. Within 5 seconds, you could be moving at 130 kilometers per hour. And then before you know it, you've stopped. The snow packed against you as tight as concrete, and time is racing against you. If you're dug out within 15 minutes, your chance of survival is 93%. After 45 minutes, the survival rate drops to 25%. And after 2 hours, it's next to none. But you don't have to rely on fate. Leave room for fact, and remember these 5 steps the next time you hit the backcountry. Step 1. Be informed. Make sure you know how an avalanche works before you encounter one. It sounds obvious, but since most avalanche accidents are preventable, your best defense is understanding them. Avalanches normally happen right after a heavy snowfall. A quick buildup of snow creates a heavy layer atop a weaker one which might easily fracture, causing a huge slab of snow to break off and slide downwards. They also occur in the springtime, when the weather gets warmer and the snow starts to melt. But whatever the natural causes might be, 90% of avalanches are triggered by people. So know your terrain and tread lightly. Step 2. Stay on top. Ideally, you want to get off the moving snow as quickly as possible. But chances are, when the snow slab breaks free, it'll break all around you, and you're going to have to fight to stay on top to avoid getting buried. If you're near a tree, grab it and hold on. If not, ditch any equipment you've got and start swimming. Moving your arms broadly and quickly should help you stay on top of the sliding snow. Step 3. Hands up. Avalanches end quickly. As soon as you feel yourself starting to slow down, that's your cue to raise an arm above your head. When you finally stop, having one arm up might make it easier for rescuers to find you if your hand ends up near the surface. And if you're that lucky, you might even be able to start digging yourself out. Step 4. Spit it out. If you can't tell which way is up or down, start spitting. It might sound gross, but spitting will help create some space in front of your mouth for you to breathe. And judging by the way your spit falls from your mouth, gravity should give you a clue as to which way to start digging. Step 5. Relax. After rolling downhill at the speed of a car, relaxing is probably the last thing on your mind. But staying calm might be your final hope for survival. Suffocation is one of the biggest risks for avalanche victims, and panicking only increases that risk. Give yourself more time by calming down so that you can slow your breathing. Remember that rescuers are likely on their way, and while you wait for them, you should work on trying to carve out a larger space in front of your mouth to give yourself more room to breathe. Because avalanches are quick and unexpected, it's natural to feel helpless if you're ever caught in one. But realistically, you're never helpless if you're prepared. Hot tip: get yourself an avalanche beacon before your next adventure. These things can transmit your location to rescuers if you're ever caught in an avalanche. Thanks to improved technology and better safety tips, avalanche fatalities have gone down over the last few decades.
This is Oymyakon, a small village in eastern Siberia, also known as the coldest city on Earth. And your car has just broken down. You should get out and look for some help, right? Wrong. In this place, you stay in your car. 2 people froze to death while looking for a nearby farm after their vehicles stalled on the road. But 3 other people who were with them survived. We'll tell you how they did, but first, let's see what we're working with. Oymakon's less than 500 inhabitants must endure a harsh winter with only 3 hours of light a day. The average temperature during winter is about -55 degrees Celsius, and the coldest ever recorded was -72 degrees Celsius in 2013. If you ever wanted to know how it feels to be on Mars, this is the closest you'll get to its average -80 degrees Celsius. Are you ready for this? Feeling like a true survivalist? Like and subscribe today, and be sure to click that notification bell. That is, if your fingers haven't gotten frostbite. Now let's see what we can learn from the locals on surviving this frozen village. Remember the 3 people who survived after their car broke down in the snow? The only reason they made it out alive was their thermal clothing. If you want to survive a simple 20-minute walk in Omicron, you'll need to be smart about what you wear. This means more than just wearing tons of layers. The material of the clothes is the most important thing. Textiles made of wool and fur are the best for trapping heat inside. Start with merino wool thermal leggings, socks, and long-sleeve shirt. The fabric is moisture-wicking, so it quickly moves sweat away from your body and dries faster. Then put on a warm insulating layer, which can be a fleece sweater and pants. Then make sure to add a windproof, waterproof, and breathable shell jacket. Sounds exhausting, right? Imagine doing this every day. And we're not even done yet. Wear 2 pairs of socks and winter boots with enough room so it doesn't restrict your blood flow. Get a good fur hat. If you don't feel comfortable using animal products, you can also get synthetic fur. Finally, put on a scarf and thick gloves and you're good to go. It's called fashion. Look it up. The ground in Oymacon is too frozen to grow anything, but a few wild berries and roots. So you'll have to eat a lot of meat and animal fat to keep your warmth and health. The regular menu in the village includes reindeer and horse meat, frozen fish, and horse blood ice cubes served with macaroni. And don't forget the Siberian delicacy, stroganina. This is frozen fresh river fish, served in long thin slices, usually accompanied by vodka. You can still get a good source of calcium with deer and cow milk. Cows even have to wear a bra to prevent frostbite on their udder. This calorie-rich diet will give you the energy to do your everyday tasks in the village. Residents claim to be in good health thanks to an active lifestyle, healthy food, and clean air and water. There's a common misconception that alcohol will make your body warmer. But this is just an illusion. When alcohol dilates the blood vessels under your skin, blood from your core and inner organs flows into them. So while your skin gets warm, your vital organs aren't receiving the amount of blood they need to function. You might be too drunk to realize how cold you're getting until it's too late. Ironically, vodka will freeze at -27 degrees Celsius, so you won't be able to drink it outside. If you begin to shiver and experience a very rapid heart rate or shallow breathing, you might be suffering from hypothermia. Other signs are slurred speech and lack of coordination. Feeling any of these symptoms means you could get confused and disoriented very quickly, so you need to get into a warm and dry place right away. Make yourself a hot tea or broth and get under a blanket. This will help in warming up your body. Don't rush to rub or massage your arms and legs. This could move a blood clot from your limbs toward the heart, resulting in cardiac arrest. Another way to push your already stressed heart is to jump into hot water right away. As tempting as it is, that hot bath will have to wait. On an average winter day in Omicron, it would take approximately 1 minute for a naked person to freeze to death. Even if you are dressed, exposed hands or face may be vulnerable to frostbite. The first stage is called frostnip. The affected area gets numbed, and you might feel itching, stinging, or a burning sensation as it warms up again. In the intermediate stage, the skin becomes hard and looks almost waxy or shiny. Eventually, blisters will start to form, filled with fluid or blood. In the third and most advanced stage, your skin darkens, turning almost blue. You'll lose all sensation in the area. Then it will turn black and hard as it dies. The affected limb can develop gangrene, which in severe cases may lead to amputation. Avoid this painful and gruesome destiny by moving fast and completing your activities quickly when you're outside. Remember to wear mittens, scarf, and a hat that protects your ears. People in Oymacon stay safe by spending as little time as necessary outside. Even the ones who work in the open have to take 20-minute turns. You better not forget your keys. Being locked out here would feel like being trapped inside a giant refrigerator.
Ice that is thin and crispy is way too risky. Wise words from a nursery rhyme. And as you plunge through the ice into frigid water, these words are cold comforts and may come to haunt you. Here's how to survive falling through ice. When walking across a frozen lake, never judge ice by looks alone. Although the motto, "Ice that is thick and blue," is tried and true, it is a good rule to go by. It's not worth risking your life for a stroll across these chilled waters. What happens to your body when you fall in? How long could you possibly survive? And why do you need ice picks? People go on the ice for different reasons. They fish, they skate, or they take a shortcut to where they're going. And sometimes they fall in by accident. If they ski off course. Or a car skids off a road. Oh no. There are things you can do that will help you to survive. Step 1. Remember 1-10-1. The 1-10-1 rule is a quick way to remember the 3 initial phases of being immersed in cold water. Minute 1, known as cold shock, is a big jolt to your body as it feels the icy water. This is when hyperventilation begins, which is breathing between 600 to 1000% greater than regular breathing. After 10 minutes in the water, cold incapacitation occurs. You'll lose sensations and movement in your fingers, arms, and legs. It can take up to 1 hour for hypothermia to set and you become unconscious. Step 2. Keep your head up. If at all possible, try to keep your head above water to delay the onset of hypothermia. Hypothermia has 3 stages. When it's mild, your body temperature is about 35 degrees or less, and you'll be shivering, developing blue skin, and confusion. Moderate hypothermia sets in when your body temperature drops to 32 degrees, and the onset of sleepiness and hallucination can make you pass out. Severe hypothermia sets in when your body temperature drops down to 28 degrees. You are now at risk of cardiac arrest. Step 3. Get out quick. Getting out of the water as fast as possible is imperative to avoid hypothermia. Try to find the hole you fell into and pull yourself out. If you can't, let's hope that someone else will help pull you out. That happened to Anna Bagenholm. This 29-year-old radiologist from Sweden went skiing near Narvik, Norway, lost control, and fell through ice. She was dragged under the water with only her legs and skis sticking out. Luckily, she was found by 2 friends who tried unsuccessfully to pull her out and then called for help. Because they were in a remote area, a rescue team could not get there quickly, and Anna and her friends had to wait. She had been trapped in the ice water for 80 minutes. Even though Anna found a pocket of air so she could breathe, she went into cardiac arrest and lost consciousness after 40 minutes, despite having been in the deadly, frigid water for 80 minutes. Anna was able to make an almost complete recovery after an extensive medical treatment. Step 4. Look for light. If you are under the water, look for lighter areas above. This will usually be the place you entered from, as other places could be covered in snow and look darker. Step 5. Ice picks are your friend. These picks could save your life. Push both picks into the ice and pull yourself up horizontally while kicking your feet in a swimming motion. This way you won't need as much upper body strength to get yourself out of the water, while you're struggling not to turn into a human ice cube. You look up into the sky and notice the gathering clouds and flashes of light. Could this be the beginning of a lightning storm?
This parent's worst nightmare could happen to you but on a much larger scale. Here's how to survive being locked in a freezer. Subscribe and like this episode for more. Being locked in a freezer is a workplace hazard that shouldn't happen thanks to mandatory emergency release handles and other safety measures. But sometimes things can and do go wrong. What causes doors to lock shut? Can running on the spot save you? And how much time do you have before you run out of air? The reason these doors stick is an ice buildup around the frame. The locking mechanism and emergency release device can also freeze up. So if you find yourself trapped in a freezer and you can't get out, just chill and follow these steps. Step 1. Call for help. Not to move too much. Even if you think exercising will help you stay warm, it will. Shut behind her at the end of a shift. Carly Daubeny was in the freezer for 8 hours wearing only a Subway t-shirt and leggings until the morning crew showed up at 7:30 a.m. She said her muscles were so cold it was difficult to walk for a few days. She also had a migraine and dry skin. Hospital staff found she was close to developing hypothermia. Step 4. Keep cool. If you can't get out, try not to panic. Panicking will increase your pulse and breathing rate. You'll need to conserve your energy because now it's time to become resourceful. A standard size walk-in industrial freezer contains about 320 cubic feet of pure oxygen. The average person needs about 150 cubic feet of pure oxygen to survive for 1 day, meaning you'll have enough oxygen for 2 days, even inside a sealed unit. But that's if you don't freak out and use it all up. Do your best to stay calm and try to keep your mind occupied on anything other than where you are. If you have your phone with you, but you didn't get a signal the first time you tried, try again in a different spot. Try not to waste the battery too much, but keep trying. You never know when you might have some luck, even if it's just for a moment. Now you're out of the locked freezer, and you think you can handle anything. freezing outside, and you're still kilometers away from home. Suddenly, the windshield is covered in snow. The wind is pushing against your car, and it skids out of control. The steering wheel is useless. What are you going to do? Breathe. You can survive this. This is How to Survive Driving Through a Storm. Every year, more than 1.3 million people in the world die in car accidents. According to the U.S. Federal Highway Administration, there are about 6 million car accidents in the U.S. each year, and roughly 20% of them are related to weather conditions. Sadly, each year an average of 5,700 people are killed in the U.S. in weather-related car accidents. What speed is safe in a storm? What should you do if your car skids? And if you get stuck, how can you stay alive? Step 1. Hold your horses. The U.S. Department of Transportation recommends reducing your speed by 33% on wet roads and 50% on snow-covered roads. That might sound like a lot, but at 32 kilometers per hour, a small puddle can mean just a splash of water against your car. And at 100 kilometers per hour, it can make your vehicle hydroplane. That means you'd skid out of control on wet pavement. Losing control could cause you to crash other cars, pedestrians, or go off the road. Another risk is driving on black ice. That's the thin but deadly layer of ice that forms over wet pavement at 0 degrees Celsius or lower temperatures. So you really need to slow down and drive smoothly. Step 2. Keep your distance. Braking can take 10 times longer or more than in normal conditions. When a car travels at 100 kilometers per hour, braking takes about 73 meters along the road. So on snowy pavement, it can take 730 meters. That's longer than 7 soccer fields. To protect yourself and other people, slow down and increase your distance from other vehicles. Step 3. Loosen the reins. You might not know that your vehicle is hydroplaning or slipping on black ice until you can't brake or steer. If that happens, don't panic and hit the brakes hard. That will cause you to lose all control. If the vehicle doesn't respond, release the pedals and turn the steering wheel smoothly. Don't make any sudden movements. At some point, the car will slow down and regain traction. Then you can regain control of it. Step 4. Pack for a camping trip. In February 2021, Harlan Earl was heading home from Northern California to Nevada when he got caught in a severe storm. The storm covered the road in his car with 1.80 meters of snow. Fortunately, Earl was well equipped. He survived in the woods for a week thanks to his winter clothes, propane tank, and camping gear. When the snow started to melt and phone service was restored, he called the emergency services and a helicopter came to pick him up. So it helps to be prepared to survive in the wild. Step 5. Move fast. If you lose control and hit something, get out of there immediately. Others will crash after you. As Ryan Cheney experienced in February of 2021, Texas was hit by historic winter storms that resulted in many fatal accidents. Ryan was one of the first drivers to crash in a 100-car pileup outside of Dallas. He was trying to help a woman trapped in her car when he saw a truck speeding toward them out of control. He should run for his life. The woman died, but Ryan survived and was able to help other victims out of their cars. Sadly, 6 people died that day. Due to global warming, storms are becoming more intense, less predictable, and affecting more places. We need to stay alert and be prepared for the worst. Maybe while you're stuck in traffic, you should learn how to survive a polar bear attack. You never know. Yes, we've got that here on How to Survive.